Hello, my name is Kelly, and today I'm going to be reviewing The Young Elites by Murray Lu. And oh my gosh, this book is crazy. To say the least, I don't even know. As crazy as I think it is, I think it is lovely. And it came out just, I think, a couple weeks ago or a month. It's pretty new, but I pre-ordered it because it was Murray Lu. I read the Legend trilogy, so I had to read more from her. So yeah, I got this book as soon as I could, and I finished it as soon as I could. And I kind of need the second one now. You guys are like, whoa, why is this book so good? I don't know how much to say without giving it away, but a summary is that this girl named Adelina, she's the main character. Well, let me start over. This blood fever goes through the nation, and if you got it and survived, they were mostly kids that survived, you came out of it with these strange markings and different abnormal abilities, or like powers, magic. So Adelina, the main character, her marking is that she has white hair and one eye, but you would understand that part later. And I don't want to give away her power, but it's crazy. So it's pretty much following Adelina and going through how she discovers her ability and what happens when she does. It's called The Young Elites. It's the kids that have powers that are elites, but Adelina finds this group and it's called the Dagger Society. So, and they're a group of elites, and that's kind of confusing, but elites are the kids and the Daggers are a group of elites. So, yeah. That's pretty much all I can say without completely spoiling it for you. And I'm really sorry that it's not a lot, and I know it's frustrating, but just like one thing leads to the next and just like snowballs, and it's so good. And Adelina is like no other character that I've ever read about before, and I'm not saying that because I liked her a lot or whatever, but I'm saying that because she's really different. She doesn't think the way most main characters would think, and it's really interesting to read from that point of view and take. So that's a huge part of why I fell in love with this book. And like the world is really cool too, because ooh, there's a map I should show you. There's a place south and it's called the Sunlands, and I think that's really cute. And yeah, so like I said, I'm sorry that's not a lot of information I can give you about the book. It is amazing. Murray Lu is amazing, and you should read it. And I am going to go into spoiler B parts now because I'm freaking out and I need to talk about it. So after you read it, please come back and please tell me your thoughts, because oh my goodness, I would love to hear your thoughts on this book and about her. So okay, spoiler part start now. Okay, Adelina, her thoughts are so dark, and like I said before, her thoughts are very, very different from, I think, a usual protagonist would have. She's almost like a villain, and we're following the villain's stance on it, but I don't know, I don't want to think of her like the villain, because I really do love her. I love that she has silver hair, and I can really sympathize with her when she feels like everyone leaves her and everyone is just using her. I want to say I get that, and I do feel bad, and I have a sister and I would do anything to protect my sister. So I really love her and Violetta's relationship. I love how Adelina put kind of everything she had on the line with the daggers to save her sister. And that brings up another point. After Enzo saves her, he brings her to the city where the Inquisition Inquisition Axis, the headquarters pretty much, are at. And he expects something not to happen. Enzo. I did not like him at first. I actually really did not like him at first. Because in the description thing that you get with the book, it says Adelina wants to believe Enzo is on her side and that Taryn is the true enemy. That little snippet from that part made me think either she would definitely be on Enzo's side or definitely be on Taryn's side. So, I don't know, when she started getting really close with Enzo, I was like, wow, something's gonna happen that, like, splits them up. And, I don't know, no matter what he did, no matter how much he kissed her or how much his eyes softened at her, I just didn't get the feeling that he was being genuine about it until he said the words, destruction is a choice. And that's, I think, what made me fall in love with him, because he's the crown prince, and he wants to take over the throne and make Malfeado not be burned at the stake all the time, and he wanted to step up for them and be like, hey, I'm actually the crown prince, and I'm a Malfeado, and you guys should treat everyone equal. And I thought those were good ideals, but I thought he was just going about it in the wrong way. So when he told Taryn that destruction is a choice, it just made me think that, wow, he is actually trying to do something good. His intentions were good, and he actually is not just thinking about the throne for himself and his own, like, grudge against his sister, but he actually really wants to help people out. And you're like, well, no he doesn't, because they let other Malfeados burn. But then, you can't save every kid. I get, when Raffaele said that to Adelina, I get that they couldn't save every kid, because then you'd have all these kids and be like, well, what are we gonna do with all of you, you know? And it's kind of like, hey, we're using you, but it's kind of like, we don't have the space either. So Enzo, I didn't like him until he was pretty much dead. And then after he said those words that I fell in love with him with, he runs. He runs to protect Adelina. And I thought the illusion on him, on Enzo as Taryn, faded. And but right when she said that he was on the ground feeling the pain, I knew that it wasn't him. I knew that it was actually Enzo, and I was so, reading that part, reading it and realizing what she actually did killed me. It killed me so bad. And then when she was crying over him and it said the last look in his eyes was betrayal. He can't die thinking that, and that's the part that broke me too. And I was like, this guy actually did put kind of, he's like stepped out of his way to do stuff for Adelina, and I think that is so huge. And oh my gosh, I don't even know what else to say about him, but my vision on him totally did a 180, and it just sucks that he died, and he had to die by Adelina, and kind of by his old best friend too. And I was not expecting that at all. I was completely sobbing by that point, and I was like, why is this happening? Another person I want to talk about is Raffaele. I thought his name was Raphael at first, but then I Google translated it, and then the E actually does make a noise, so it is Raffaele. He was my favorite character throughout the book until the very end, so my vision on him kind of did a 180 too, because he was amazing. He was a smooth talker and graceful and beautiful, and I love the sensory type of people that can like sense things about you. So I liked him, and I liked how nice he was, I think, to Adelina. And I knew he was going to be the one to make her mask, too. I knew it. Anyway, so that first chapter that it showed of Raffaele, and he was talking to Enzo, and he said pretty much that you should kill Adelina. I was like, Raffaele, you are my precious baby child. Why would you say that about her? And then that kind of made me upset. And then, because he was so nice to her, even after that point, he was so nice to her. And then at the end, he just hit after hit after hit, and stab in the heart and stab in the back. And I was like, who is this person that I knew? Who is the person that Adelina knew? And it was just heartbreaking. Everything in this book made me cry. Everything in this book made me cry. And then I can see why the daggers were obviously upset with her at the end and didn't trust her, because illusions are a messy thing, and Adelina said a couple times that she can't tell her own illusions from real life anymore, like the ghost of her father and a little bit of the ghost of Enzo too, and makes you realize that she's a lot more powerful than I think anyone realizes. Ooh, and then you didn't really know how bad Adelina could be, because sometimes she had some pretty creepy thoughts, but then you're like, well, maybe she can turn around. And then when she killed Dante, when she killed Spider, oh my gosh, you just realize that she's kind of out of her mind, that she is going down that way. And you still want to think, at the end of this book, I was still thinking, hey, she can turn around. She has to turn around. She has to make it. She has to be better. She makes her own society though, Adelina. What is one of the lines from her? I pledge myself to the Rose Society until the end of my days. To use my eyes to see all that happens, my tongue to woo others to our side, my ears to hear every secret, my hands to crush my enemies. I would do everything in my power to destroy all who stand in my way. The Rose Society. I'm still rooting for Adelina though. In the end, I still want her to be better. I am curious about what she is going to do and how she plans on recruiting people and bringing them to her side, because she does want to be like in the power spot. She wants power. At the very end we get the epilogue from the crown princess of the Valdan in the Skylands, and her name's Meve. She's the person that brings people back to life that we heard rumors about. I don't think she's one of the 4 main eights though, because there was the Reaper, and there was the Windwalker, and there was Magic, and the Alchemist. So I don't think, well, she's obviously not 2 of them, but I don't think she's the other 2 either. But she's kind of a down low famous person. So she does have a connection to the Windwalker or Lucent. Their relationship. It does make me wonder what she has a role to do in the next book, and if we're going to get like a point of view from her, or like a couple chapters from her, probably. And I wonder, they brought up the White Wolf, they brought up Adelina, and I love that nickname, by the way. So I wonder if Meve and Adelina are ever gonna get into contact. Ooh, these kids just broke my heart. And then when Raffaele said Adelina instead of mi Adelinetta, and then, okay, Taran, I did not like him, because I'm like, man, this kid is like batshit crazy. And like, Adelina's kind of crazy, but this kid is like, I'm gonna watch people burn for fun. And he pretty much does, because Enzo's sister, I don't even know how to pronounce her name, the princess. She is crazy, and then she has crazy Taran under her thumb too, and it just makes frickin' everyone crazy. So I don't like Taran. I don't think I will ever like him or ever side with him on anything, because after Enzo died, he was like, thanks! And then Violetta said something like, I can save you, and then those were Taran's words, and then Adelina got all mad, and I was like, oh my gosh, Taran is like a crazy, he has like healing powers. I guess he can only die by being stabbed in the eye, because that's what Enzo was trying to do, and he almost got it. It was so, I don't even know what else to say about this book. It was so good. It was so good. Just like reading about it. But I did think downside of this book, in the beginning-ish first half of the book, there were a lot of flashbacks, and I was like, I don't care what happened in your past. I want to know what you're doing now. So that was kind of annoying. There were a lot of heartbreaking things in this book. But I think the thing that totally shattered my heart was when she said kindness with strings attached. Because even before the fight with Taran and Endo, and even before Endo died, and Adelina was sitting in her bedroom and she was thinking about everything the Leeds did for her and their friendship. It all seemed good until one thing happened, and then suddenly you don't know them. And Raphael, he even said that I wanted this to be a place where you have friends and people love you, but they never really did. Dante was always on her back about stuff. Lucy, it even said reluctantly was her friend. And then Gemma, she was a sweetie. She was a sweetie to everyone, but she just smiled and kind of made small talk. But it's sad, and it's so relatable, even from like a totally different world and stuff. You can relate to it, but I love this book. I am not trying to make myself cry right now because I do love it. And it was very, very amazing to read, and my goodness, I just want the next one. I don't think I can wait a whole year. I think that's really all I have to say about this book. Thoughts about Endo did a 180, thoughts about Raffaele did a 180, thoughts on Taran stayed the same, Adelina is kind of all over the place. Violetta, I hope she does something useful in the next book. I don't know, I feel like she was just kind of like a prize piece, kind of like a goal in this book, but I hope she, like, I don't know, helps Adelina to the light and out of the darkness, and because you don't need a man to make you happy. True love from a sister or a brother. I love this book, and I feel like I need to say a whole lot more. And if I think of anything else, I'll put it in the description, so you should probably check that out anyway. And thank you so much for watching this review. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and just subscribe for more book reviews, because I have a whole lot of books that need to be read, and I'm going to do a lot of videos, so just stick around for that. And thank you again for watching. Bye.